It's time for Recipe of the Day. If you are doing some meal prep on this lovely Sunday, or if you are getting your August grill on and want to up that grilling game, I have an amazing recipe for you. This is for the best chicken thigh marinade. It is designed to be not just a marinade with a bit of acidity to penetrate and break down some enzymes and get flavor in there, but also it has some salt in there because, you know me, I love to brine things. And so the salt is going to help to bring the flavors into the chicken and to also tenderize it even more. Chicken thighs are already very tender. This takes it further. The other thing about this marinade that I have to tell you is it is like some of my other marinade or brine recipes where we actually puree some fresh, very strong flavored ingredients. And when we puree them, we're essentially juicing them so that the liquid of our marinade is made out of the juice of those ingredients, which is much stronger in flavor than if you simmer the ingredients in water and have the flavor kind of get into the liquid. This is intensely there. I'm talking about something like an onion or cloves of garlic. We are juicing them into the liquid, right? So then when that salt is acting in the brine to bring the liquid into the meat, it is bringing that flavor juice into the meat with it. And it is insane how much flavor these guys get from this technique. So here's how you make my best chicken thigh marinade. You're going to get out your blender or food processor and you're going to get a lemon and you're going to zest the lemon and juice the lemon and put both the zest and the juice into your blender or food processor. I'm just going to say blender from now on because I don't want to have to say both all the time. Then to that blender, you are also adding 3/4 of a cup of water, a 1/4 cup of honey. The honey is in there. That sweetness is so good. But if you're grilling, it also helps get those nice grill marks. Or if you're baking or broiling or pan frying the chicken thighs, it's going to help get that little bit of caramelization color on there. Okay. So also to that blender, you're adding 1/4 of an onion and 4 cloves of garlic, 2 large sprigs of fresh thyme, or a 1/2 teaspoon of dried, a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and then we're going in with that salt. It's 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, which is very salty, and 2 teaspoons of salt, and then also a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper and a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Now, before I tell you what you're going to do next, I just want to note that this marinade does not need to be on the chicken for that long. 1 to 1.5 hours is the sweet spot. Like with a lot of brines, if you leave it in for longer, it can get really salty. So if you want to use this like a traditional marinade where maybe you leave it in, some people do overnight or they freeze the food in it or that kind of thing, then omit the 2 teaspoons of salt. Leave the soy sauce in there, leave everything else in there, but just take that 2 teaspoons of salt out, and then you can marinate for longer if that's what you were hoping to do. Just then, before you cook your chicken, you're going to salt it lightly. And if you have the salt in this marinade brine mixture before you cook the chicken, you do not salt it because it's going to be salty enough. Okay. So we have all those ingredients in the blender and you are going to puree them until they are well blended. You're going to see really pulpy onion and tiny little specks of green from the thyme. And then it's done. And now this is enough brine for about 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, or really as many as you can get fully submerged in the liquid. But I usually find that 1.5 pounds is about right, depending on the size of your chicken thighs and whether they are bone-in or boneless. It's going to be about 5 to 8 of them. If your blender or food processor is big enough, you could just drop those thighs right into there and then they'll be submerged. Mine works great for that, my blender, because the blade actually comes out from inside and the liquid's still in there, and then I can put the chicken thighs in there. It's one of those Ninja blenders with the motor that's removable on the top. I will put a link to that blender set. I love it. You've probably seen my videos. I use it a lot for all kinds of things. I'll put a link in the show notes for you for that blender. But yeah, so depending on your blender or food processor, you could put the chicken right into there, or you can transfer them to a container where they will be fully submerged in the liquid, or into a zip top bag, put the chicken thighs in there, pour the marinade marinade over top, remove as much air as you can, zip it up. And then those are going into the fridge for ideally 1.5 hours. And that is pretty much it. You take the chicken thighs out of the marinade, discard the marinade. You can't use it again. Pat them dry, and then you're cooking them any way you like. So they are wonderful on the grill. And I'm going to be back later in the week to tell you how to grill chicken thighs perfectly. Or you can do them in the air fryer. You can bake them. I wouldn't do anything that involves like liquid simmering, even the Instant Pot necessarily, because sometimes the liquid can actually draw the liquid out of the chicken and then that salty liquid right from the brine. So it's not ideal. You want some kind of dry cooking method. So I will link to how to air fry chicken thighs, bake them, and how to grill them. And like I said, I'll be back later in the week to tell you how to grill them as well. So that is my best chicken thigh marinade. I will put the link to the recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is August 3rd of 2025. You can also subscribe to the show there, and it will show up in your Apple podcast feed, Spotify podcast feed, right from cookthestory.com/ROTD, or go on your phone to your favorite podcast app and search for Recipe of the Day. You will find me there. Tap on subscribe or follow, and you will get a new episode every single day. You will always know what to make for dinner that night if you listen to this show. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.